Good morning, students. Welcome to our English language class. Today we are going to continue with this chapter which we have read in the last lesson, The Aunt and Amabel, lesson number 3 from your literature book. Now you remember that we have read about the characters of this chapter, The Aunt and Amabel, and we have also read about the red magical book, and we have read about the learning objectives of this chapter, the author Edith Nesbit, and how Amabel enters into the magical world. We have talked about the crystal cave and the railway station and the potter, everything that we have read in the previous lesson. Now today we are going to continue with this lesson. So let's just read this chapter, children. So after that, when Amabel sat inside the train that was made entirely of crystal, children, can you imagine the train made up of entirely crystal, and the cushions were of white satin? Like the potter who was also wearing the dress with white satin, same, the cushions were also of white satin. So can you see something which is really similar here? Like this white color is coming everywhere. The costume of the potter, now the white cushions. Now she sat inside that, and there were little buttons such as what do you want to eat, what do you want to drink, and what do you want to read. So these were the 3 buttons, and she clicked all the buttons in one go. And can you imagine what happened? There were a silver tray by her side, and in that silver tray what she has received to eat, like vanilla ice, boiled chicken, peppermint cream, almond sauce, and mashed potatoes, and a tall glass of lemonade. Now children, you all be aware that what is lemonade. Lemonade, children, is a very refreshing drink which is made up of lemon. So she received all of that in one go. So and just as Amabel is finished the last spoon full of ice, and she reached the last full stop of the book, the train stopped, and hundreds of railway officials in white velvet shouted, "Where you want to go to? Get off here!" Now children, you understand here, the railway officials, the people, those who are the officers, they are working at the railway stations, they all are shouting at Amabel and looking at her and saying, "Where you want to go to? Get off here, get off here." And a smiling porter again opened the door, and now he said, "Come on out, Miss Amabel, unless you want to go to where you don't want to go to." So these are all words, where you want to go to, where you don't want to go to, is like a same word with inverted commas. So they were all like, now she hurried onto the platform, and what she saw ahead was a crowd, a big crowd. What's all that? Amabel was a little amazed, and she asked the friendly porter, "It's the mayor, dear Miss Amabel," he said. Now children, you all know that mayor is someone who is the head of the city. Like we also have a mayor in Jodhpur. Same way, the mayor was also there to receive Amabel. Can you just imagine that? Now the mayor bowed low to her and said, "Welcome, dear Amabel, and we know how you meant to please your aunt." Now this Amabel story is, the Amabel story, what happened with Amabel and aunt, mayor also knew about it. So it's not your fault, the mayor is saying to Amabel, it's not your fault, and that you didn't know you should be taking the permission before touching the others things. So that's what mayor was telling Amabel. "Oh, but," I was quite confused. "I did, but a band started to," can you imagine? A band started to play, and the instruments of the band were all of silver, and the bandsmen, those who play the band, were like clothes of white leather. Now here the bandsmen were also wearing the white leather suit. And there was a flower show, children, and a concert, and there was also a grand dinner with thousands of guests in Amabel's honor. Soon, the shout went up, speech, speech. Now they all wanted a speech from Amabel. Can you just imagine that? Amabel began. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to make a speech. I just want to say thank you. To say, and she just fumbled up. She stopped, and happy crowd cheered. To say, she went on as the cheer died down. That I should have thought, but I did want to please Auntie. It's all so mixed, and oh, I wish Auntie was here. And suddenly, can you believe who came there? Auntie. And instantly, Auntie was there. Very tall and quite nice looking in a very elegant dress. And Auntie stood beside Amabel and said, I think perhaps I was hasty. And Amabel, but those flowers were meant, for the winter. Well, I was annoyed and I'm sorry. So she was just apologizing for what she did. But oh, Auntie, so Amabel said, oh, Auntie, so am I, so am I. And then Amabel cried, and two began to hug each other. Now, and on the ivory step, while the crowd cheered, and when it grew late and the stars were out, Amabel fell asleep in her aunt's arm beside a fountain on a marble terrace, while white peacocks came to drink. So the peacocks here are also white. And she awoke on a big bed with her aunt's arms still round her. Amabel, she was saying, Amabel, oh, Auntie, said Amabel sleepily, I'm so sorry, but I did mean to please you. I'm sure you meant to please me. Now come down to supper, said her aunt, and smiled. And after that, Amabel was looking here and there for the magical book, which she read, and she moved into that magical world. But can you imagine, children? After that, she hasn't found that magical book. So that was the story about Aunt Amabel and that red magical book. I hope you enjoyed listening to this story and you found it interesting, and I'm sure you're going to read this chapter. Practice reading, children, and you have a great day. Take care of yourself. Thank you.